And just like that, we are back with a brand new edition of Mute Me, our fabulous debate show here on ESPN Cricinfo, where we get our brightest minds and gurus to debate some of the most controversial topics in this edition of the IPL. Look at these familiar faces that are back with us. Dustin, Shreyas, and Ronak are joining us for this one. They are ready for war. Quick breakdown of the rules. The guys will present their arguments. They will have 60 seconds within which to present their arguments. After 15 seconds, though, if one of the other panelists or both of them are not buying the argument, then they can hold up their mute sign. 2 mute signs, just like that. And just like that, 2 mute signs means you gotta shut up. Even if you don't want to shut up, like Ronak doesn't like to, we will forcefully mute you and you will physically be shut up. I also have a lovely thing called a golden mute that I can use at any time, even after 1 second. And I know a lot of the guys take fault with that, but it's okay because I'm the boss. Guys, are you ready? Let's get into some IPL arguments, shall we? Starting with the king of arguments himself, also because he was a lawyer by trade. Ronak, what is your topic?
Thank you, Alexis. My topic is Yuzvendra Chahal is the best T20 spinner in the world. Now, I get it. Rashid Khan, Sunil Narine. Yes, hold on for a second. I'm going to address one larger issue here. That, Indians only play in the IPL and therefore you can't count them because you have guys like Rashid and Narine that do stuff all over the world and are successful everywhere. First, it's not the Indians' fault that they don't get to play anywhere. Second, the IPL is the best league in the world. Are you telling me that a Bumrah or a KL Rahul would not be successful in other leagues if they had the chance? No. So I don't buy that theory. Now coming to Chahal itself. I think this guy has grown into a more potent wicket taker than Rashid Khan because teams play out Rashid Khan. Sunil Narine is no longer the bowler he once was. Sorry, Shreyas. And as far as Chahal goes, he's been brought up at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, the hardest place to bowl. He's been part of a bowling attack that's been the weakest in the IPL, unlike Rashid, where he's got great bowlers around him at the Sunrisers and Sunil Narine.
Oh, wowzers. But you know, it almost made it 12 seconds to go. Dustin, shocked. I saw you cricking those fingers, getting ready for the mute, but you gave him some chance to present his argument. What didn't you like about it?
I just think it's so obvious that Rashid Khan is not just the best T20 bowler currently. He's possibly the best T20 spinner ever. I mean, if you look at his statistics across the years, you can't just go off one IPL. He's been the best for a long time. And I think to say that, I mean, who would really pick Chahal as one of the great T20 spinners of all time? I don't think you would.
Virat, maybe. We'll get to Ronak in a bit. Shreyas, what did you not like about Ronak's argument?
Yuzvendra Chahal is actually quite good, very good in fact, but calling him best would be unfair to Rashid Khan, and that's because the testament to Rashid Khan that people choose to play him out. That is actually the sort of the mark which shows how good he is. If he wasn't the best, then people would take him on, and still Chahal takes a lot of his wickets with the batsman trying to attack him and not sort of trapping them LBW or getting them clean bowled, which Rashid Khan does a lot of, and therefore I think Chahal still has a few more years of consistently great performances to overtake Rashid as the best T20 spinner.
Dustin, you, sir, are up next.
My topic is simply that T20s need an over timer. Okay? When T20 cricket started, it was supposed to be a game that ends within 3 hours. I can't remember the last T20 that ended even within 3.5 hours. We're sitting up till 11:30 p.m. most nights watching the IPL. And the fact is that post-game reprimands don't seem to work. So what I'm proposing is you have a timer for each over, which is 3.5 minutes. It starts the moment one over begins, and it ends the moment the next over starts. And if you don't finish your over within those 3.5 minutes, then there is a 2-run penalty for the fielding side. Now, obviously, if the ball goes out of the ground for a 6 or if there's a review, then the timer stops. And if you can finish an over within those 3.5 minutes, then like in chess, the time can be added on to the next bowler's over.
I'm golden muting Dustin. I let him go, but I can't. There's too many deviations of the wonderful game already that I can't take anymore. And we love staying up past midnight watching them, don't we?
Yeah.
Ronak.
Yeah. I'm with you, Alexis. I'm with you. I was just letting Dustin go on. I wanted to extend the courtesy of him completing that he didn't extend to me. But the point is, we've already got so many odd idiosyncrasies about cricket, and there are so many ways of
deviations. Call them what they are.
I mean, what are you going to have another umpire that's going to hold up the side of the board now? How much time still left? They struggle as it is. I agree that they need to speed things up, but having a timer for every over with the anomalies that cricket has, bowlers and whatnot. Dhoni likes to take 2.5 minutes in between balls these days. So you can't do that. Yeah.
Finally, even though I said I wasn't going to use a golden mute, I'm glad that Justin brought it out to me. But it's all love. Shresh, you are next. What is your topic?
Okay, my topic is that Kolkata Knight Riders should stop having Sunil Narine open the batting for them. And the main reason for that is that the experiment is done. The sneak attack, which you would like to call by putting up a pinch hitter, that is now overused. And teams realize that Sunil Narine, when you bowl up full to him, he's going to send you to all parts. So what do they do now? They go leg stump, they go short, and they bowl in such a way that they actually don't dismiss Sunil Narine. What they do is they make him waste balls. And that is actually a huge crime in T20 cricket. And teams are now relishing the opportunity of bowling to Sunil Narine because they know that if they bowl fast, they'll play and miss him.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I actually was going to say this is a very valid argument for one of my favorite people ever in the world. But Ronak, what are you saying? I know you wanted to retire some West Indians last week, at least in the IPL. But Sunil Narine, why are you taking fault with this?
Someone has to, Alexis. No, the only reason I muted Shresh is because his point was made. It's that simple. Sunil Narine is done at the top of the order. I don't know if I'm not sure I'm convinced that teams deliberately try to keep him out there and not dismiss him. I think they figured how to bowl to him. And as a result, Sunil Narine, that old argument, either he'll hit out or get out early, even that doesn't hold out because he actually spends time and costs his team a slow start. So I'm with him entirely. It's done. And I don't rule out that even by the time this show actually airs, that Kolkata might ditch that experiment.
Well, Mr. Lawyer, you're up next. What's your topic?
My topic, Alexis, is that Pollard is greater than Russell, right? Now, the thing is, I start this with the premise that a lot of us believe that Andre Russell is the more destructive, more devastating batsman, right? I'm talking about batting. I'm obviously not talking about bowling. And I was one of those. I felt Russell was a more talented batsman and a greater sort of more naturally gifted player than Pollard. However, I believe now that has changed because Pollard has evolved into a far greater T20 batsman than Andre Russell, white ball batsman than Andre Russell. I think he's smarter, he understands his limitation, and he puts a much bigger price on his wicket. Andre Russell has given into his own legend where he thinks he can do anything. He can, but that doesn't serve his team's purpose, right? So he slogs everyone. I almost see it out of ego that he takes on the best bowler in the opposition because he knows and he thinks he can. If Russell got a bit smarter, his team would be better served. He tries to slog the best of bowlers. He doesn't care about the situation. I remember the World Cup game in Australia against Australia as well last year, where he literally cost his side the chase when he went off.
Oh, double mute now. To be fair, I was absolutely lapping up and buying Ronak's argument there. Very well put. But Dustin, you weren't buying it as much as I was. Why?
I don't agree that Russell goes after every bowler. I've seen him this year, in fact, even duck bouncers from bowlers like Bumrah and James Pattinson. He does understand he has a weakness against a short ball. And if you look at how KKR have used him this year, they've sent him in earlier, possibly to get, again, some of the best overs of the opposition gone. And then Morgan comes in later, actually, as your late hitter. So I think it's a bit of an unfair thing to say Russell is overconfident and tries to hit everybody.
Suresh, you also took issue to it?
Yeah, the way batting teams play out their overs depending on how many overs of Rashid Khan are left. Bowling teams also sort of plan their bowling overs depending on when Andre Russell will come to bat. And having a sort of respect from the opposition of that level actually makes Russell more greater than Pollard. Pollard's really good. There's no doubting that. And Pollard's been really good over the last couple of seasons, and there's no doubting that either. But Russell is someone who can... opposition, I mean, they dance to the tunes of Russell. And if that doesn't show greatness, then what does?
All right, we'll leave it there. Justin, my man, you are up next.
Okay, my next argument is that it's time for Imran Tahir. Okay, before this season started, I thought Imran Tahir would be the first name on the team sheet for CSK. For some reason, they haven't played him. I mean, the guy's the purple cap winner last season, for heaven's sakes. Since then, he's played more than 50 T20s, and every single place he plays, he takes wickets, okay? Whether it's CPL, BBL, Bangladesh Premier League, PSL, he's near the top of the wicket charts every single tournament that he plays. And this year, okay, I get CSK's logic. They feel that they've got other spinners, but they need the overseas slots for other roles. But you've got to be aggressive, even when you know that, especially when you know you don't have the strongest batting lineup. why not play a wicket-taking spinner? Piyush Chawla this season, he has an okay economy rate, but just 6 wickets in 5 games, I think Tahir gives you a lot more than that. I think he could replace a Dwayne Bravo or maybe even one of the batsmen. And also, the IPL is missing Imran Tahir's celebrations. Okay, what is the IPL without Imran Tahir running across the ground? I mean, can you imagine in Sharjah, he'd run out of room and be running up the stands? We need Imran Tahir in the IPL.
All right. Oh, beautiful ending there. And, I was waiting to see when you would bring in the celebration, because that's why I need Imran Tahir, because it makes me want to run around my block. But Ronak, you did not like that. Why?
Yeah, look, I'm a big Imran Tahir fan. I think he'd add value to any T20 team he plays in. But this just goes down to what CSK look like this season, and they can't afford Imran Tahir. They are smart enough to play a good enough leg spinner, and that's pretty much it. Is Tahir a better leg spinner than Chawla? Probably is. But it's not that big a deal that you need to upset the overseas combination. They definitely need Dwayne Bravo, because Tahir's not going to bowl at the death. They need Faf and Watson because they don't have the batting this season. So it's a simple call. Sam Curran's proved to be this versatile X-factor cricketer that can be used in different ways. So he adds more value than Imran Tahir. So it's just a question of that. So I don't buy that Tahir would necessarily make this team better. He is a much better bowler than Chawla. I'll concede that. But I don't believe CSK made a mistake. I think they've got it dead right. As far as the celebrations go, I don't know anyone else in that CSK team right now that would match up with Tahir, right? With how he runs and looking at just the average fitness of the rest of the team, I think they'd rather have him away because they want to get on with it. Tahir would be running God knows where on, like Dustin pointed out. So maybe it's tactical on that point as well. Dhoni is conserving the collective energy of the team by keeping Imran Tahir away. And he can run around the boundary and celebrate other people's wickets also. There's nothing wrong with that.
Fair. All right, we'll leave it at that one. And Shreyas, what is your topic?
Okay, my topic is that this year's final will be between Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians. And the reason for that is it's been a long time coming for Delhi Capitals, but it's this season, a little bit of last season as well, where they sort of got their team sorted. And when you see these two teams, they're the two teams which have their 11s in place. Barring minor injuries, their 11s might differ, but strategy-wise, they have it all in place. And the second thing is, these two teams have the most number of international players who have played, who are capped, who have played for their countries. And therefore, both teams have the sort of experience which no other team right now has. When one guy doesn't perform, the second guy does. When the third guy doesn't, the fourth guy does. And so the balance and the sort of not being reliant on just one player, like Sunrisers are and often Kolkata are as well, that helps that cause tremendously. And most importantly, both of them have the best two bowling lineups, especially fast bowlers. Though having real good pace, having a lot of variations, that will make the difference here. And these two teams will fight it out on the final on November 11th.
Wow, he went all the way. You went the distance, Shreyas. So is that the final, guys? Plain and simple. Is that who you guys have?
Well, I picked Mumbai and Delhi in my preseason predictions as top two, so I couldn't mute him. I couldn't possibly mute him. So
fair. Dustin?
I've become a Delhi Capitals fan this season. I think that in every department, they're awesome. Their tactics are amazing. And I think it comes down to two guys, Bumrah and Rabada. That's going to be the final right there.
I've been deliberating with my producer and we've come to a bit of a headlock. But since I have the final say in everything because I'm the boss, I am awarding this edition of Mute Me to Ronak Kapoor. You are the winner. Congratulations. You made me choose between my West Indians by putting Polly up against Andre Russell. When I got a West Indian clash, I usually go with my countryman, Russell from Jamaica. But you know what? You're right. Because Karen Pollard and his new mustache, goatee, beard combo thing that's going on today, Polly, you the man. And I'm not sure what Ronak's doing there. He's put his shades on, but thank you so much.
I don't have time now. Please talk to my agent. I'm a Mute Me winner.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to pay him an extra 10% to come on next week's episode. But thanks to Dustin, thanks to Shreyas, and thanks to Ronak and his 15 minutes of fame. Thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in. Best believe we are here for all of the IPL action this season. So please tune in to another edition of Mute Me.